Hi everyone, we are now on lesson 19, which is how can we perform operations with various functions. We talked about functions in lesson 18, and now we're just going to talk about operations with functions. And we know our four main operations to be addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So it's not going to be too complicated, I promise. Let's take a look at our do now. If f of x is equal to 3x minus 7, and g of x is equal to 13 minus 2x, find f of 2 plus g of 2. If you need to pause the video right now and try to do know by yourself, please go ahead. Alrighty, so we're good to go. So we're going to look for first f of 2. Well, f of 2, right, so what I'm doing is I'm taking the function x, and I'm replacing that x with my input, and my input in this case is 2. Now I'm going to take g of x. Oh, wait, let me finish this first. I'm sorry, guys. Go ahead. We're going to plug this into our calculator. Pull out your calculator, please. That's mine turning on right now. And I have f of 2. F of 2 is going to equal to negative 1. So that is f of 2. Now let's do g of 2. G of 2, we're going to take our function g of x, and I'm going to say 13 minus 2, and instead of x, I am plugging in a 2. So again, all we're going to do is take this piece right here and plug it into our calculator, and we will get g of 2 is equal to 9. Did I do that right? Yes, I did. Okay, so if f of 2 is equal to negative 1, this is negative 1, and I'm going to do negative 1 plus g of 2, and g of 2 is going to be 9. If I add these two together, I get positive 8, which means f of 2 plus g of 2 is equal to 8. We can perform all four basic operations on functions. The first one being addition. We all know the addition symbol right there, plus. We can also do subtraction with functions. We can do multiplication. And for multiplication, we are not going to be using the x, guys. We are using this dot, okay, multiplication. And we can also do division, which we usually write as a fraction. So I can say like f divided by g. It is a fraction. That is an f, guys. Okay. So sometimes we might see our function notation like this. Let's say go look at our first one. F plus g of x. If this is confusing, right? We're just going to break it up. This is the same as f of x plus g of x. Subtraction, same thing. We're going to rewrite it. F of x minus g of x. If you know where I'm going with this, you should have already filled out the next piece. Multiplication is f of x times g of x. And high five if you can get this last one by yourself. F of x divided by g of x. Nice job. High five. Before we do this next example problem, I do want to change one of my functions, okay? What I'm going to do is please cross out this minus 3. Cross it out, cross it out, cross it out. Okay. So I have three functions. Let's indicate them with colors. F of x is going to be green, x squared minus 8x plus 4. Let's do g of x is this pinkish color, pinkish red. And then I'll do purple for h of x, just so I can show you guys which ones we're dealing with. So for example 1a, I have f plus g of x. So again, we're going to separate them. Ooh, these are not the colors. Okay, there you go. This is really f of x plus g of x. Right, so we're just separating it. F of x, let's go ahead and do this. F of x is x squared minus 8x plus 4. And then I am adding that to g of x, which is just 4x. We learned, let's combine like terms, bring everything down. X squared, negative 8x, and positive 4x can combine to give you minus 4x, and then we bring down our plus 4. Okay, let's try the subtraction now. I have f minus h of x. So again, I'm starting off with f of x. F of x, and this is going to be minus h of x. Well, f of x is just what we had over there. It's given to us. This is x squared minus 8x plus 4. And then I am subtracting h of x. And it's so important that we put h of x in parentheses because I am subtracting that entire piece, not just the x, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to distribute. Bring all of this down, x squared minus 8x plus 4. Distribute this minus, becomes minus x minus 2. And now we can combine like terms. Bring down our x squared. And then I have negative 8x and negative x. That gives us negative 9x. Positive 4 and minus 2 gives us a positive 2. Okay, almost there. Next one is h times g of x. So that's just going to be h of x. And we are multiplying, multiplying by g of x. All right, well, h of x is x plus 2. And we are going to multiply that with g of x, which is just 4x. Remember that when we multiply, we distribute. So the first thing I'm going to do is distribute this. X times 4x gives us 4x squared. And then we're going to distribute the 2. 2 times 4x gives us a positive 8x. That's it. Okay, division, and then we're going to move on to some problems. So I have f of x divided by g of x, right? So f of x, and we are dividing by g of x. What color was g of x? F of x, that's on top, is x squared minus 8x plus 4. And we are dividing by g of x, which is 4x. Recall that when we divide, we subtract our exponents. If you can't get that far and this is your final answer, that's okay. I'm going to take it a step further for those of us who kind of remember how to do it. When I divide x squared by 4x, I end up getting x over 4. And then we're going to minus 2. And then we do plus 1 over x. Okay, so don't worry so much about that part. That's for those of us who are ready for that challenge, who want to recall how to divide. It's okay if we don't. We are going to go ahead and skip this part because you guys are going to show me how to do this on Delta Math. Okay, the assignment has already been made, so we're not doing this. You try. I just want to show you guys one more example. Let's take a look at example 2. And what we're going to do is same thing we did before. So f of x is 2x squared minus x minus 12. G of x is x plus 7. So I only got 2 things to work with. F plus g of negative 2. This is really f of negative 2 plus, you know me, I like to color coordinate, plus g of negative 2. So let's first find f of negative 2. F of negative 2 is 2 times negative 2 squared minus negative 2 minus 12. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and plug this into my calculator. 2 times negative 2 squared minus negative 2 minus 12. If you don't have a calculator at home, I have a really good app. Just message me. I'll let you know which one it is. And this is equal to negative 2. And I am adding that to g of negative 2. So where should I do that? I'm going to do that over here. G of negative 2 is going to be, oops, let me put the plus, right? That was f of x. G of negative 2 is going to be negative 2 plus 7, which gives us a positive 5. So really, I'm doing a negative 2 plus 5, and I get f plus g of negative 2 is equal to positive 3. I feel like you guys got this. Let's do one more. I'll do the division one with you guys, and then you guys are on your own for your assignment. If you need help, obviously you can ask for help. So this is really f of x, whoops, not x, f of 5 divided by g of 5. On top, we get 2 times 5 squared minus 5 minus 12. And then on the bottom, we're going to say, well, we're dividing that by g of 5, which is 5 plus 7. You guys can use alpha y equals and enter this entire thing into your calculator. If you're not comfortable with that, you can definitely do it piece by piece. Just make sure you're using parentheses wherever you have parentheses. So on top, I'm going to get 33 divided by 12. And that's it. That's our final answer. F of g of 5 equals to this. Any questions? Let me know. Otherwise, please go ahead and do your assignment on Delta Math.